Yeah, I request everyone to turn on your videos, please. Ma'am, I'm going to admit Bhagyanath, sir. Okay, I'm going to admit Bhagyanath, sir. A very good evening, sir.
Hi. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Okay, okay. Yeah, hi everyone.
Sir,
Good
thank
evening,
you very
Bhagyanath.
much.
Good evening, ma'am.
Ma'am, shall we start?
చూడండి అందరూ జాయిన్ అయిపోయారు అనుకుంటే స్టార్ట్ చేసేసుకోండి.
Okay. Rajesh, can we start?
Yes, I guess also.
Um, a very good evening, sir. Uh, on behalf of IEEE Student Branch GVPCE, I extend a warm welcome to you. It's an honor to have you as an esteemed alumni like you to join today. So your journey from
Thank you.
Gayatri Vidya Parishad College of Engineering to becoming a software developer manager at Amazon is truly inspiring. And IEEE Student Branch and all the students present here are very much excited to learn from your experiences, sir. Sir,
Thank you.
with your
Thanks, sir.
permission, sir, with your
Mm.
permission, can we move forward with the interactions?
Yes, yes, please go ahead. And firstly, thanks for inviting me. Thanks to the teachers, Indumati ma'am, and all the management for calling me. It's been a while since I have interacted, so I would like to. I learned a lot during my journey, which I wanted to share.
Yes. Uh,
Yeah.
So under this new initiative, Alumni
Mm.
Connect, IEEE Student Branch, JVPCE is going to have interaction every week with the esteemed alumni of our college, sir. So we
Okay.
are very honored to with for you as our guest for this week. So,
Okay.
sir, starting with the basic question,
Mm.
sir, can you please tell us about your time at Gayatri Vidya Parishad, time at our institute?
Yeah, I think I joined in 2008. I think half the college was built back then. So we were that time there was a separate branch for all the first year students. It was quite exciting for me because that's the first time I came to the college and have seen with a lot of people. And I think now the structure has been completely different. But yeah, I think 4 years in computer science department from 2008 to 2012. And one of the inspiring person for me throughout my entire college life was Professor Kantaro sir. So I think what we learned during his time is what I learned after, even in my masters as well. So and specifically the faculty there. I think most of the faculty which we got at that time were also new, so it was a learning exercise for from both the parts. Like Indumati ma'am, and there are a lot of people who Raju sir who were there when we were there, and they were starting their career, and then for us also it was a learning experience. So that's how I think all the 4 years went on, and we we did a lot of things in the college which actually helped us afterwards. For example, I think most of the people might not understand or see the importance in organizing things, especially for example, any fest, college fest that you have, you participate in that, or you actually drive them as a student level. You might think that this will be of no use to me later on, but for me it changed a lot after I left my college, because I still do organizing things in my company. There you need to interact with a lot of people inside your company, multiple teams, organizing common events as well. It's not like at a company level you only do work and that is the only thing that you are responsible for, but it's not. You need to do a lot of other activities as well, just like how you are a student and you're not expected to only study at college. You learn the people people skills, and so that helped me really, which is something which I feel in retrospective now, that this is something which I learned from the college. So I think it was a journey. Even today, I remember after 12 years as well, and that's should be true for each of you.
Yes, sir. It's very true, sir. Sir, can you share us some of your key experiences or projects that shaped your interest during your college time at IEEE?
Yes, yes. I think even at my time, there are a lot of people in my batch who were not that much interested into hardware or automation. So everyone wants to write code in software, but no one wants to see the effects of it in some hardware projects or anything. So this is what changed my life in Gayatri, I would say, because I learned to code. Just like a software developer, we did a code, but I also had interest in electronics. So part of my hobbies even today lies with writing code for hardware, and seeing that your automation saves certain part of the world or changes well-being of someone. So that's how my hobbies have been like that as well. So there are many times where we build websites and you might not see the actual benefit of it. So I would say mix of balance of hardware projects and software is something which is needed, uh, because it's very changing times, wherein you might not always see that you will be put into a company which only codes for a specific client, right? In my batch itself, we had a lot of C++ developers, Java developers. Some are some have been in gaming, which is not something that we are taught. So you must be versatile enough to see that whatever opportunity is given to you, will be able to capitalize on it. It's not like you will be present in the same sector for a very period of time. But when you are in that zone, I think learning is a key skill, which you should be able to grasp it. And whatever might be the kind of project that you are assigned in any company, you should be able to embrace that.
Sir, do you remember any one specific project or any specific time that showed you interest to tinker with hardware, like you have mentioned it?
Yes. So actually my journey started with an IIT Madras project, which we wanted to go there from the college and then show some kind of robotics is what we initially thought. And Professor Kantarao sir was there and he was guiding us. And suddenly in the midterm they changed our entire project. So what we had to bring. So finally the product was you have to bring a hovercraft. We have to build an hovercraft and then write software for it such that it follows a specific time frame, in the sense that it has to travel for 10 meters, wait for it, change direction. It's not a line follower, I would say, but it has to have autonomy. Once it is put in the spot, it has to find where the end location is and automatically drive till there. So I would say we did not succeed totally in that, but the journey of creating that, we had to create around 6 to 7 hovercrafts, and then start coding it with multiple processor like big processor. At that point of time, Atmega used to be there, so we did that. It was a journey of learning that those things you don't really see these learnings in your textbooks. But what I would say is when we did that hands-on, the learning was much more impressive. And even today, I can redo that. I'm not sure whether my engineering projects, whether I will be able to remember now and redo them, but that project definitely I'll redo it. I know every step of the way. So that's how when you do things on your own, it will be in your mind for a very long time. That's one of the reason why we suggest you to code as much as possible, not just see and learn, but also do the coding in different multiple ways so that you register that very well.
That was very insightful for the students here, sir. Sir, how did your college years influence your decisions, sir? Like in every aspect of your life?
Yeah, I think to be honest, right, in college we don't think much. So whatever comes to the first top of the head, it's like stack, right? Whatever comes to the top of your head, you just try to do that, and there are no implications as well because you are expected to make mistakes and learn from them. So that visibility of having that what you call the ripple effects afterwards is not present in college. So you are free to do anything. But once you come out of that, every decision that you take in your life is decides your fate. You might not realize it right away, but maybe 5 years down the line you might think, I should have done this in a different way, but there is no time for you. So this is the only time where you can learn from your mistakes, and there are people to guide you. I'm telling you, once you leave out of this college, it's very hard to find your mentors. You maybe one or two mentors from the companies, or your teachers, professors, one or two who you are engaged with, they will be able to guide you, but you won't find that guidance of what you find in a college once you go out of it, because no one cares actually. Everyone has their own.
Yes.
Here you're having professors and everyone to take care of you, and if you make mistakes they'll tell you, although we might not listen every times, but you'll realize this fact again after you go out of your college, that they have said this, but we turned out to be like this. So that's one of the things which I feel it automatically comes. The impact of having a decision taken after your college will be much more impactful in your life.
Yes. Uh, Sir, apart from academics,
Yes.
what do you remember? What memory do you remember the most? Coming with, being it for with the fest or a college hostel, being with your friends, and yes, can you
Yeah, I
please
think
share that?
definitely friends. Friends, there is no denying it. I think I almost have the entire class of me in touch even now. So they're the ones that you. It's really like your extended family, I would say, because some, I won't say the entire class will be like that with you, but definitely one or two people who will be your lifetime friends, whom you will share with your personal belongings as well, and also everything in your life. So that is what something that you gain out of college as well. So for me also it's the same. I have a lot of people who are interact, even in the ma'am. So there are specific set of people who will be throughout your life, and that is what you get from the college. And it's true for not only this, even if you do masters after this, you will get some people there whom you will cherish for the rest of your life. So this is one thing, and the other thing which I feel is the fest, especially the team encounters that you do. You might be going out with your outings with your friends, or you plan something and go on trips, something of this sort. These will be memories for you. I mean, expect other than academics, I'm saying that these are the memories that you will always be there. For example, maybe for you it will be World Cup now. So how you, if you have enjoyed with your friends, after 10 years you will tell me the same thing, that when I was in college I went with my friends to this World Cup finals and saw this somewhere. Right now I'm doing that, but there is no way that I'll reach that moment. I can't ask my friends to come back and watch that World Cup match now with me, because they're
Yes.
nowhere there. So these are the things. I think now it might be subtle, but I think when you retrospect about your college, you will find this interesting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, there are many clubs in our college. Sir, do you remember any one of the club you are most part of, or you are most actively participated in, or
Yes,
any
I think
social clubs or technical clubs, or be it a cultural club, student
yeah, yeah.
activity center?
I think at that point of time we had common. It's a commonality. We used to participate in multiple things. We don't have per se as a specific club that time, but whenever an organization was there, for example, decoration committee, even Indumati madam might be remembering that. So for our fest, we used to be part of the decoration committee, and then do a lot of things. It was out of the mind. I personally did not think that we'll arrange things like that. It will be opportunity for us to actually draw something, because I don't remember even drawing in my plus two or anything. At sometime the school we did that, and again at college fest we had to do that, and we were forced to do that as well. I'll tell you, our teachers made sure that the decoration is also good. So we were forced to do that, watery colors and everything. So that is one part of it, and the other part was electronics. So I was part of an electronic show where we had to display all our ideas. So we did how IR communication works, how I think that RF frequency works. So we had to do this small specific projects, which I think it was in second year or so. So it was very young for us in the college as well. So we did try to bring out those projects and then publish out. That is the first time that we ever presented something to anyone. So it was inspiring, because that's the first time we did, and after that it became a habit. So once it becomes a habit, you start. I think you won't have that stage fear of. Actually, let me ask you a question. How many of you feared for talking to your fourth years when you're in first year?
Uh, to be honest, I'm scared.
Yeah, so first time happens, but let's say you interacted with them multiple times. After that, how it will be? It will be very easy, right? It's just
Yes,
like, it's just so it's the same even in a company as well. In a company as well, there will be 10 years experience per person. You'll be talking to a director or someone who might be a CEO of a company as well. So it's almost like he's a senior to you. So in the first interaction, maybe it will be difficult, but afterwards it will be easy. It will be same interaction what you would do with your senior. So that's how you might not realize it, but whatever you had interaction with your peers in your college will be the same outside as well.
uh, sir. What is your favorite relaxing spot in our institute? Like favorite chill out spot, be it a
Let's
canteen.
what. No, I think we our canteen. See, for us, most of the college used to students, at least the boys, right? They used to stay in MVP colony and everywhere. So the moment you get time, we used to go. All of them used to go there. And the other was volleyball, the playground. We are not fond of cricket teams. We although used to have, so IPL just came by at my college. IPL was just started in 2008 or something. So we used to have CPL, which is CSC Premier League, having multiple. It's exact like what we used to do. How IPL happens, we used to buy teams. Individually contribute in money of getting a person to the team and then have teams. So it was similar. So cricket was half a way and the other part was volleyball, obviously. So I think sports is what brought us together because that's the only place where we interacted much.
After hearing all this, I'm picturing an image like all rounder. Bhagyanath sir is all rounder.
No, I think everyone is an all-rounder. If time given, I think if you have that interest, you'll definitely succeed in anything that you keep interest in. So it also depends on the situation of your where you are and when what time you are in. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, I think in my, at least my batch, everyone is, even now I pursue them because 40 people, I think 30% of them are in software. There are people who are doing constructions business everywhere. So don't think that you will be only doing, your entire batch will be only in one direction, even though you're studying in a specific branch. But all of your friends might be scattered across multiple things. Some might be in construction, some might be doing MBAs and then becoming managers, or some in software. So it's an adaptability. That's what your college teaches. It doesn't teach you to be in a specific stream, but how to adapt to things, how to make the best out of things. And that's what I would say, because each of you will choose your own career path, but this is the platform that brings you. Definitely, that's the college.
Yes, absolutely true, sir. Sir, after your graduation, like after graduating, you joined in
Yes.
Wipro and
Yes.
worked for a gaming company. And
Yes.
can you please share about the experience of it? Like, what was the
Yeah.
experience like?
So all my years in college, I was always thinking of hardware. Hardware. I wanted to do code, but also think of hardware. Interestingly, the gaming, it's slot machines based gaming where you will find casinos. So Las Vegas casinos, and there are bunch of them across the world. So and there are multiple stages as well, where you see stepper motor kind of reels,
Yes,
physical reels rotating, and also digital. There will be only touch screens where the reels, video reels will be rotating, and there are three multiple generations. So I got to work with a soft kind of software where you also have to write for stepper motor based games, normal digital games, and also touch games. So that's a wide range of, but yeah, definitely I would say it's a gambling game that I worked for. So we had to intrinsically write we actually can decide how much the end user will get. So for example, when you go and play there, I can decide on 90% if the although the company will set the number, like if you put 100 rupees, it will only give you back 90 rupees. So that logic of writing the games and the probability of how to manage that, because company said 90, I have to see that my rails are configured in such a way and they're rotating in such a way that the end user will get only 90. So there, so yeah, this is where I first saw the business side of things, along with my coding, because my coding has to be justified with what the business expects, and then there is additional factor of legal compliances as well. These games are legally monitored by Nevada and all the US companies there. So it's a different gaming experience. I wouldn't say it's normal what we play in mobiles, but it's a completely different casino-based games.
okay. Sir, what were the key learnings during your time at Wipro that helped you later in your career? What are the
So
top
one
findings?
one thing is to how to work with a team. So in projects at college, we usually have two or three people. We don't take that much serious. We just wanted to complete it, and we don't see the repercussions afterwards. So, for example, made a code change, it went to production, and then something happened. You won't realize it because we don't care that much in college. But once you go there, anything that you write, anything that you push to the production will have ripple effects, and you are accounted for it. And you have to work in a team. It's not like one person can write the whole project like we do in college. So this is one of the biggest learning, how to see. And the team contains 20 experience, 10 years experience, maybe freshers like me at that point in time, and a customer facing who sits somewhere in, say, maybe Las Vegas or Australia somewhere, and he tells you what to do, and you have to understand his language, because we are not so used to it. Sometimes a Chinese person can come and talk to you, and we might not be able to understand what they are saying. So it's a mix of culture, right? So this is something that takes time when you go to the any of the company at the initial phases, where you have to understand who your client is and what they're expecting. Because in college you define what you want to do and you define the product, but when you go to a company, someone else defines it for you, and you have to follow what requirements are given to you. So this changeover and understanding what they're expecting and meeting the deadlines. It's college, we can expand as much as you want. Like you get 6 months, and then whether you complete it three-fourth or complete, it's for you only. But there someone is on top of your back saying that at this point in time you have to complete this. So this that also brings you in how to decide whether I have to do a long-term solution or I have to give a shorter fix, or what is the impact of having something broken in production. So all that is a learning which I think which helped me later on as well,
Yes. Sir,
dealing with things, I think. Yeah.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, after working at Wipro for 18 months for a gaming company, you then
Yeah.
decided to start your own company, which is focused
Yes.
on analytics tools and 3D printed kits for education.
Yes. Yes.
Sir, can you share what motivated you to take that entrepreneur leap?
I think it didn't start out of the blue. So if you see, I think you might not be aware. So it started actually in my fourth year itself. So my end project at in fourth year was with a virtual classroom. So at that point in time, there was no virtual classrooms or anything. So we had to create a website, create a join.me plugin where teachers can actually tell students and have a class interaction or anything like that. So that is something which I built long back in my fourth year project. And after that, we went and met a company owner, and we wanted to build a analytics tool for all the students, which will be used by schools. So it may be, for example, a person is very well at maths, but he's not good at science. How will we analyze that? Teachers, because each teacher is separate, and they won't know exactly which student is performing in which class better and all, and how to track their progress, how to track their attendance, how to. There are a bunch of activities that we can do. So at that point of time, I think 12 to 13 mini projects were there in that final website. Like you have to track attendance, you have to track their homework, you have to track their how they're performing in each exam, and also write the exams, and give them homeworks, give them playable kind of games which they can learn from. So that is one part of it. The other part was we wanted. I was interested in 3D printing at that point in time. So we actually we ordered an 3D printer from from outside the country, but it did not come in because there was custom importation. 3D printing was very niche product at that point in time. So we had only 3 months. So we decided to build our own 3D printer. So we manufactured the part in Hyderabad. Each part of it, each electronics were assembled. Laser cutting. We did that, and finally did a 3D workable 3D printer, and then started printing all the biology kits for students. For example, brain, how it looks with different colors and the shape, and heart, how it looks, so that people can actually kids can actually touch them and feel them. So that is some of the school kits that we did. And I think so this happened. I moved from Wipro at around Feb 2014, and after that I had 3 months. I thought June is the school starting date, so I'll go to all the schools in May. I started visiting them in May, and what I realized was most of the schools don't have the authority with them. There'll be some owner sitting in somewhere, and he has to decide on what happens in the school. So that is one of the which thing which I did not have at that point. The business sense was not there. I know the product, I know what I have to do, I know what they require as well, but the problem is I did not have a business sense. So when I went to May, what I realized was all the schools were already planned for that year in Feb itself. So I don't have they asked me to come back after 1 year,
Okay.
most of the schools and most of the chains, right? For example, I think I visited Nalanda at that point in time, and like Vignan schools. So the Vignan school CEO sits somewhere else for all the ones, and we have to go and meet them to convince, not the principal who is staying in Visakhapatnam branch. And that is a tougher thing. And at that point in time, 10 years back, we are not fit for the market as well, because there were no internet usage of like we do after COVID right now. Parents did not have visibility, schools did not have the infrastructure. So I would say what Byju's is now, we were 10 years ahead of it. And that's why we are unfit for the market at that point in time. We could not fly off because everyone is like, where are you storing the data, will you keep it in my server? They did not have any context of cloud, anything at that point in time. We had to explain a lot of things to the directors as well at that point in time. So it was not a fruitful discussion as well, because they don't know anything about technology. The parents themselves are not used to using mobile phones and everything. So that project even now, if I relaunch that, I know that it will work, because but it's out of time, because Byju's have taken care of it already. The only thing which I can relaunch now right now is the 3D printed kits, experiments, physics experiments, which I intend to do it at a later point of time. That business will always be there because the market is there. But yeah, I think what the biggest learning for me is, not only doing it, you also need to have the business sense of it and when to launch it. So that's a dash decision, I would say. I have taken it, but I learned a lot from it. That's the first venture which I have in my career which I have undertaken, where I completely went all in. But it's a very good learning, I would say. Although it's a failed startup, but I learned the most of my life during that tenure.
Yes. Sir, as you mentioned, yes, you lack business sense for the startup. Sir, can you mention some times like where you learned some business tips from other persons and all during your startup journey, and you have
So I think,
implemented them?
yeah, I think what I used to do as a startup founder is, there are, so I think I was there in Bangalore at that point in time, and there are a lot of company startups where there are certain specific meetings that happen every weekend, where a lot of companies come and pitch their ideas, and the investors also come at that point in time to understand if they are interested in investing in that projects. So every startup has a story. I'll tell you, you might not know this just by looking at the product, but every startup has a story behind them, behind the founder, behind how the idea came and how it is shaped. So everyone has a learning opportunity as well. Like everyone make mistakes, and by the time they actually create the startup. So I think every week we used to have 3 to 4 people who used to come there. Like for example, delivery, now it's a very big company, but back then this is a very small startup. The CEO came and told his journey there. And Dosamatic, they are literally, I think they launched right now how to make automated doshas, but it was 10 years back idea. They were various at a nascent phase. They wanted to do a lot of things, but I think then they focused on just doing Dosamatic. So initially their plan was to automate the whole hotel, but they learned from their mistakes. Seeing them, we learned how to focus on a single idea, not rather than diverging into multiple ideas. How to pivot into a direction where your customers are saying that it's not working, because as a founder we'll be very enthusiastic in saying that this will definitely work, but when you take it to the customers, they might not be interested in that. They will just say, okay, this is not something which I like, but this feature I like, which you might not be thinking about itself. And then how to pivot it. Okay, now that is your goal, and you have to take that decision very hard, because you work for 2 years thinking that this is the sole idea that you want to bring out, and then now you have to change. So these are the things which which gave me insights on how to go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, according to you, what
Yeah.
do you think that an entrepreneur should have the aspects to attract his investors for his idea?
So one thing is, see, no one gives you investment if they don't think. See, all the investors, the only thing they care about is money making.
Yes, sir.
There will be investors who will be interested in your product, but ultimate goal for them is to get returns, right? So if your product is usable and you think that there's a market fit, that is when you have to approach an investor. If you cannot Sorry. So if you cannot convince yourself that someone will buy your product for a genuine reason, not your friends or someone to encourage you, but in a real market, if someone really wants that product, if you really want it in your life, that is something that will give the investors a click on. If the investor is also from your same mindset, then he would understand why I need that. For example, just say if mobile is there and laptop is there, why would I need a tablet?
Yes.
But tablet is a market now. It's a very big market. We do apps specifically for a tablet.
Yes.
But so there is a genuine reason for it. If I'm a person who says that I have a laptop, I have a mobile, why would I buy a tablet? Then I'm an investor who will not look into it. But imagine the other way around. I am at home. I don't need all the features of a mobile. I want to see a larger screen. I don't want to buy a laptop. I wanted to carry it very easily. Something like that. So can say I'm a gadget friendly person and I like the way a tablet looks. Now there is a market for tablet. So identifying your market and whether your product will genuinely help people. You might think, but that has to come for the customers. You have to interact with a lot of people who are asking whether they really need it or not. Once you get the feedback from multiple people, multiple perspectives, that is when you decide whether I have to go to a product or not. Because at your heart it will say yes, this is required for everyone, but that's not true.
Yes. Sir, after your startup, you took a break and pursued your master's from BITS Pilani. Sir, how
Yes.
did this decision shape your future career? And
Yeah, I think.
sir, and did your time at BITS Pilani influence your decision to join Amazon? And how did it help, sir?
Yeah, I think definitely there will be influence. I'll say I think after the startup, right? Mostly I worked for around 1.5 year on this. I did not know what to do after that. Literally speaking, I don't want to go and go back to the same companies like this, or I was not in a mindset to go and work again for a service-based company or any other company for a while, because it's a very drastic change for me, because suddenly for whatever I worked for 2 years or maybe for my fourth year, I realized that I can no longer continue that thought. It's a completely revamp for me. I cannot pursue it. It's not giving monetary value for me. I did not see a career in that. So now it's it's a completely different region, because I don't know what I need to do. So that best thing that I can do is take a break. But in that taking a break, I was always interested in writing exams, and even during my startup I used to write gate exam for fun. Without any preparation, I used to write them off, just multiple choice questions. But that helped me later on. I realized that okay, let me write this year as well, anyhow writing, and let me try bits Pilani as well, because bits has been a dream when I was a child. Just for the sake of it, I just wrote it. But triple IT Hyderabad, I genuinely gave it triple IT Hyderabad, because I thought it's startup culture. So that this time there is an incubation center in Hyderabad. Triple IT Hyderabad started it, and there is a lot of startup community happening in Hyderabad at that point in time. So my focus was more in Triple IT Hyderabad, because I wanted to start a entrepreneurship cell there. I wanted to attend that and also complete my masters at the same time. So that is the thought process I had. And then incidentally, I've also found entrepreneurship cell in BITS Pilani, which is even better than Triple IT Hyderabad. So I gave the exam of GATE, which was not that good, but I got into Triple IT Hyderabad and BITS Pilani at the same time. And I choose BITS because of the network that it has and the entrepreneurship cell. That there's a separate course in entrepreneurship in BITS, where you can take it for the 6 months, and then you can start your ideas there, and then investors will come up. It's a totally completely different. So that was my intention to go to bits. But once I went there, I think one of the things which liked, which I gained out of that, is time management. So I was a placement coordinator. I was also teaching fourth year students there on all the non CSC people on how to crack interviews. And then I was a teaching assistant for all the labs for masters first years. So it taught me time management, how to manage my time, along with all the other things, along with placements and everything. And that really helped me after I joined my company back in Amazon. So I initially got placed in MathWorks, the MATLAB tool company, and
Yes.
after that I did my internship in Amazon, and for 6 7 months, and it was the toughest period, I would say, because internship is the toughest period. The reason being, you are expected to deliver a lot of things in the short span of an internship of 4 to 5 months. And whatever I was able to do is because of the college projects that my professors gave me. And again, in college, you're expected to do completely on your own. One person or two persons complete the projects and code literally write thousands of lines of codes. So that's what I did in my college, and also take care of my entrepreneurship journey. And then I came to Amazon, and that really. So I think most of the people have a misconception that after doing masters as well, you have to come to the same company. Why not go after BTech? But for me, it was a life changing experience doing my masters. It's not just going to the same company after doing BTech. I can also do that. After BTech, you can give an interview in for work for maybe learn for 2 years and then go to Amazon. But I went in a different route. I went to did my masters and then went to there. But my masters really helped me because I have professors who exactly like what I had in the Gayatri. I also had professors in there who really pushed my limits. They gave a project such a way that it in a short time you have to learn a lot. And even like advanced operating systems, advanced computer networks, you might think that who is using operating systems after college, who is using computer networks after college. But right now, even my team in Amazon right now has to deal with distributed systems. So we have to design applications in a distributed way where we need advanced operating systems, where clock synchronization is needed. So we are doing it right now. You might not realize it. Some people of my team, of my colleagues, they are doing compiler design now. They're designing a compiler, and in your vaguest imagination, you will never think that you will ever touch compiler design again after your college. But I had advanced compiler design in my masters, and I am also working with them to frame that. So you cannot say that it's a career that you choose, and sometimes your career might land up in a very niche area which no one else is there, and there will be no community to help you as well, because that is such a niche area, and the only basics you get is what you get in college. Compiler design, who expect? Do you really think that you'll go and do another compiler or another language? It's very rare. But fate is such that some of them got that. Now what you will do? Imagine that you are not learning it. You will have to learn it on the job, and it's very critical. You get a span of 6 months here. There it will be like 1 week or 2 weeks, learn everything and come back and do this. That is how the pressure will be. So I think that modesty came in when I went to masters, because I was in your shoes and I felt the same thing. Why should I read compiler design? I want to only code. But uh, down the line, now if I reflect, every aspect of my engineering and masters, every topic, some way or the other, gets related right now. My team designs, I am able to tell them that this is something that you have to find, how to do clock synchronization, how to manage distributed systems, how to manage caching. You might read an operating systems or somewhere, for all the CS guys, where you have a lot of algorithms.
Yes.
Now you won't realize, why should I learn all the algorithms? I'll learn only one, which is the best. But learning the best is not always what is needed, because right now, if you don't know the difference between pros and cons of multiple approaches, you can't suggest anything to someone, and you won't understand why it is made like that. So that is one thing which you have to, as a student, I would ask you is, don't think that always telling the best answer is the right decision. Because as an interviewer, even for Amazon, when I interview people, I don't see that I gave a problem to you and you come up with the best solution at the first instant. Then I would think that you already know the answer. What I expect my candidates to tell me is, tell me two or three different approaches, and tell me where it fails and why you're choosing the best out of it. That will give me confidence that yes, you're not reading it and coming it, you know the concepts. For example, if I give a problem to you, I don't expect you to solve it only by maps, which is the best solution for the problem, or only by trees, or only by linked list, or stacks or queues. Rather, I would ask you, if a problem is to be solved by queue, which is the best solution, I would actually start from arrays, linked list, and stacks and queues. At least minimum two solutions you have to come up with. That's why I ask all the interns in my company to code. Just code not with one solution, code with two solutions. Then you will know which is the best, and you will realize for which problems what type of data structure is needed. what type of statement requires a different type of structure. That will give you a thinking modality as well. Right now, if you go to Geeks for Geeks, it will always say the best solution. And if you say the same thing there, when I give a similar problem with a different twist, you won't realize the twist until the end, and then you will fail. So understanding when and how it to apply is more important than getting the best solution always. And I'll tell you one of the interview which I had as well. So I went to a Microsoft interview back when I was in college itself, and I incidentally I wrote two approaches. One is the brute force approach, which will come directly into the mind. Just do brute force algorithm, and that's it, which is the standard solution, which is definitely one of the workable solution. And then the other thing to do is go back to the optimal solution. But the journey on how you went, like time complexity, space complexities, all this comes into picture, and that's where the intricacies lies. So that's where all your knowledge and skill set comes out for an interviewer. Interviewer doesn't care about whether you completed the, at least for me, I don't care about how you completed the code. For me, the procedure is important, because that will tells me whether you can code for a different problem, even if you know or not know this. So that's how that's one of the things which I feel you should also start doing it.
Yes. Sir, your journey at Amazon began as an intern, and
Yes.
you have grown to a software developer manager now. And what
Yes.
has been the most rewarding part of your time at Amazon, sir?
Rewarding, definitely the package. I would definitely say that. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I think. But I did not go behind. See, one thing I could do is I can always switch companies to get my package high. But one motivation is I worked in multiple teams within the same organization, multiple services, and each of them had its own difficulty, I would say. So I work in payments right now, and I maintain worldwide payments. So any transaction that you do in Amazon goes through my system. So we do 1.4 billion transactions per day, not per year, per day. And imagine the amount of money that we are dealing with. So it comes with its own responsibilities and also complexity. So the complexity is something which I drove me to stay in Amazon. See, after 2 years, I would have said, okay, I have seen Amazon now. I would go to Microsoft or somewhere, Google or somewhere.
Yes.
But that's not what happened to me, because it was always a challenge for me to. And incidentally, at Amazon, you see this culture of rotating, because you start a service and then you own it, and then something else comes up. So you have to start again, start writing another service, build up build up things, maybe a country launch. So I launched few payment methods in Malaysia, and I didn't even know Amazon existed in Malaysia till then. So like how net banking is here, we had to enable net banking for all the Malaysian customers. And there are Mexico, where we partnered with Western Union, and you go to Western Union. It's very easy in India to pay, but it's not the case in Mexico. People, it's very difficult to pay. They have to pay by cash. They don't have mobile penetration, so they have to literally go to a Western Union location, pay for the order on Amazon, and then we ship. So such intricacies will be there. Each project has its own complexities. And from there, after internship, I became an SD1, and then an SD2. As an SD2, I had to design a lot, deal with multiple people, multiple SD1s, believer projects. And then it came to a point where I had to manage people. I choose this path of manager because of that, because I was in the same payments. I was designing for 2 years. There's nothing more for me to design, because now I'm in a position where I can review other designs. So the best possible thing for me to set is what I can do for my organization in terms of building new ideas. So that's the path I took. Now I define the 3-year plan for my team. I define what business value or additional products that we can launch. For example, India UPI is there, how to enable this UPI for rest of the world. Or so there are a lot of projects like this. I was fortunate enough to be working in such a complex space, where I had opportunity to bring out new skills and learn new things. If you don't learn, that's the time you have to see that now I have to switch. That's what I would say for you. As don't keep switching just for the sake of increasing your paycheck. Because even now I feel that even if I had done switches, I would be at the same stage. I don't think so I would be at a very large difference than what I am right now. So for me, the motivation was whether I am able to learn and grow in my role as well. I was an SD1 initially, dealing with a very specific problem. Then it went on. I was delivering projects. Then it went on, treating multiple people, SD3s, talking to multiple teams. So that kept on growing. If as long as that grows, everything else falls in place, I would say.
Sir, as someone who has seen both the startup world and a corporate giant like Amazon, then how
Yes.
do you compare these experiences?
So one thing, at least for me, I had the freedom of having a startup in my company. For example, I can decide completely on what my team does. So that's the startup culture. At least in my org, it was present in Amazon. So that's and we had the tight deadline as well. What a startup has, we did not have unlimited resources. It's not like they gave me 10, 20 people. They told me 6 people only I'll give you for this project. You have to deliver with that only. So that constraints are also present in a startup. I can't just keep on adding people to my team, and I have to manage my team. If there any of someone else goes, I have to recruit someone else, and I have a fixed budget just like a startup. So that's how the culture felt like. It is similar to what I wanted to do. It's not like I came to a corporate giant where I can live on and they'll give me the paycheck every time. It's not like that. Every team is responsible for delivering something, just like, and they have that flexibility to do at their level, at their capacity, I would say. Although I have to report something to my senior manager, but still I have the flexibility to deal with at some point at like a startup. So that's how kept me in this role as well. And I can, now I feel confident that earlier it was not there. Now I feel confident even if I come out of Amazon, I can start my own startup. I have the skills right now. I have seen everything. I have seen managing people. I have seen how to convert my thoughts into a workable product, and I also have seen how to manage difficult tough situations like COVID. Right, COVID is a complete disaster for us. We did not have any more hiring. We had to operate in remote. We never thought that remotely also we could deliver, but we are delivering for the last 3 years. Even now we are asking people to come only specific few days a week to office, but we are delivering. So whatever, I would say, adaptability is what is needed. Adapting to situations, learning from the situations, and the skills that required to manage them at what kind of level you have. Yeah.
Sir, as we are hearing that AI revolution is coming, like Chat GPT, generative AI, and all. Sir, as a
Yes.
senior development manager and as in a big multinational company like Amazon, sir, how do you see the tech industry evolving in the next few years, and what is your
Yes.
opinion on the jobs of undergraduates or postgraduate students? What
Yes.
skills
So
we do require in
yes.
sustaining in those evolving situations?
Yes, it's actually a good question. I think this is one of the reason why I wanted to have this session to answer this specific question, because there are a lot of when I take interviews, this is the first question that people ask. Even when interns come, what should I learn? Because I'll tell you one thing honestly, the industry is not prepared to take how many AI engineers or ML engineers are graduating. I'm telling you, we have 10 to 20 teams in our org, and maybe half a team works in ML. So the industry is not grown in a pace where the academics have grown. Academics are producing AI engineers, ML engineers, data engineers, and everyone, but the industry is not in a place where we can absorb every one of you. So that's one of the reason why you need to be vigilant into evolving technologies. Learn them, whether you are a CSC graduate, Triple E graduate, or whichever branch you are. You need. There is no escape from it. 5 years down the line, you definitely need to know about ML. You definitely need to know about AI. But if you are an AI engineer and ML engineer, don't expect that you'll get the job only in that, because the industry is not at that scale where we can absorb all of you. Like 1,000 people coming from ML, we don't have 1,000 jobs for ML. It's a combination of, we are in the transition phase wherein it's a combination of software development and also ML. It's a combination of software development and also AI, or AI applied scientist and an ML, or a data analyst and an AI. It's a combination. It's still a combination. It's not like you'll get a niche job right of it, right, just to write algorithms of an ML and you don't know anything about computer science. It doesn't work, because ultimately you still need to work with developers in the organization, because it's not fully automated, I would say. You might reach there after 10 years or 15 years down the line, but right now we are not at a stage where we can purely give you ML work or purely give you AI work. And that's one of the reason why you need to learn about all the skill set that is required. Skill set meaning AI, ML, AWS, Azure, or something, some compute or some what do you call data centric or cloud storage solutions. You need at least one of them. You need to you don't need to code in ML or AI. You don't need to develop algorithms, but at least learn what AI does, how to. So see, for me, the biggest challenge in my company right now is how to integrate AI and ML into our current services, current 3YP, the 3-year plan or 5-year plan. That's how my senior engineers are asking me.
So, uh, sir, am I audible?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Now I'm
Okay. Sorry for the disturbance. So, one thing which I would be open to learning about AI tools and ML tools. You don't need to code them, but you need to understand how to apply them. That's a challenge which we are facing right now. How to apply AI and ML into our jobs to make the developers' life easy. For example, I'll tell you right now, just like how Chat GPT you have, we have our own internal version of Chat GPT as Amazon, and every company has it, and we write our documents and then give it to ChatGPT to refine it. Right now, we are at that stage where we are not asking ChatGPT to write completely. We are asking it to refine our thoughts, bring it in a more presentable way. Because I'll tell you, all this generative AI and everyone is better at writing skills than you.
yes, sir.
It's a definite thing because we have fed in lot many good documents in creating that model. So that's why it is very good, and that's where we are using it right now in our documents as well. We write our documents first, give it and ask it to refine it. Maybe down the line it will come to a point where we'll give it just one liner. For example, to be honest, I went on a trip last year, and I used the itinerary of ChatGPT. It was very easy. It gave me everything, and I followed it. It was hassle free for me. So AI is going to go to a place where it is like that. Now travel companies are using ChatGPT to suggest you itinerary. They're not going to use human people to do that. They're doing it via ChatGPT and giving you that structure. And imagine how many people they can serve now. Previously they were doing it man to man. So, and don't think that the job of a software developer is going away. At least in what I see, it is not going away for the next 15 years, because someone is going to build these tools, AI tools, MI tools, integrate with multiple agencies. It's making the life easy, but someone has to do it always as well. So that's where I'm saying, if you say that I will be a C++ developer for the rest of my life, it's not going to happen. You cannot live with that, because 5 years down the line, generative AI will be such a way where it can code in C++. Then what you will do? So if you don't upskill yourself, then that's a risk. But if you are able to understand what skills you can develop, you still have time. That's what I want to tell you. You're not in a place where your jobs will go away if you don't learn. You still have 5 to 6 years to learn AIs and ML and how to apply them, and that will keep your job and everything secure. There's no doubt about it. Don't think that right now when you come out of the college, you will be giving you AI and ML work. That is also not there. The industry is not in a place. We are still hiring software developers. We are not the number of jobs in software developers are 90%. Not even 98%. Applied scientists will be 2, or ML will be 1 for so that is the amount of I would say the trend that is still going on, and it is going to happen for the next 5 years.
Yes,
I understand that academics there. I have seen a lot of engineering colleges having separate branches just for data science, ML, AI, and everything. But industry is not in a place where we can give you jobs and give you type of work, because we don't have work to give you that. We are in the stage of thinking what we can develop, and my engineers who are already existing also want to do it because they also want to learn. They are also thinking that what will I do after this? So I have to learn ML. I have to learn AI. There are a lot of AWS tools like Bedrock and everything which came up just for this sake. So we are using that internally. We are using that. So don't think that if I don't need know CSE or coding skills, I can still survive. At the till the transition completes, you still need that.
yes. Sir, as a part of this new initiative by IEEE Student Branch, which is Alumni Connect, so we have
Yeah.
circulated this interaction throughout the college, sir. So we have some of the questions from all
Yes. Yes.
across all the departments. So, if with your permission, I would like to share my screen and show you some of the questions, sir.
Yeah, you can ask me otherwise. Just feel free to ask me. See if you can range them, and then you can start the questions.
1 minute, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, is my screen visible, sir?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. So, sir, the first question is like for an undergraduate student, what would you suggest us if we want to reach your job?
So my job role right now is a software development manager, but the expectation is freshers. We start with SD1 or support engineer or system engineer. So one thing I would want to say: don't stick yourself to the role what you get into a company for. For example, you don't want to be a tester, but somehow you got to a testing role. Don't think that that is your career. Or you went to a support engineer role and you want to be an SDA. So companies do have facilities to transfer into multiple roles. And what I would say is don't specify yourself to a specific role. Try out things. I never know that I would be a good manager because I was always thinking that I'm a developer. I will stay like it for a while. But I tried it. I tried multiple things, and that's when I got to know that this role suits me better than the other one. So be open is what I would say. As a fresher, that is one of the expectation that I have for you. Don't be sticking to one specific role or opportunity. Grab the opportunity and decide what you want to do afterwards. Don't think that if I get a support role, like I don't want to go into that company because I will always be in support role. No, that is not true. It You define your career, and whatever opportunity you got, if you think that that is best for you, take it. Don't think about what will happen in the long run. You have time for it to refine it, and you don't know what you will learn from this role as well.
Sir, the next question is what are the domains that are to be known by undergraduate students to crack a software job?
So one thing, software job depends on the job opportunity as well. So if you see, there are a lot of jobs: testing, development, support, operation management, product management. So it's a bunch of roles in the software domain itself. So the easiest for you is what you are learning right now is to get into a role where you can code or you can develop websites or something like that. So what skills are required for it? If you see, the expectation of a software engineer who codes for me would be their ability to code, understand the problem, and whatever problem statement is given, whether you are able to bring out a workable solution for it, be it a website, be it. So for, let's assume this: if you are going to a startup and they require for you to create a website, they expect a full stack developer. By full stack developer, I mean you need to understand front end, which is UI based, CSS, HTML, and all that technologies. And from back end, you need to understand how to integrate with a web service, APIs, or a database. So you need to understand all these skills to gather there. So there won't be a specific domain. It depends on the role guideline. For example, if you're going for a testing profile, then I would expect you not to have other front end knowledge, right? I want you to have testing knowledge. So maybe software testing methodologies will help you there. So a bunch of companies comes for a different role guideline. So testing, keep one maybe technology for it, such software testing methodologies. Databases definitely needed. Front end, some amount of knowledge on front end is needed. Some amount of definitely coding, some programming language, irrespective whether you want to do it in Java, C++, Python, doesn't matter. At least perfect in one uh, language where you can transparent your thoughts to code. So don't go into saying that I know C++, I know Java, I know Python, I know JavaScript. No, be expert in one and then know about the rest. And don't go into interviews saying that I'll code in any of the thing that you say. Make yourself comfortable in one and try to do that.
No.
So learn about one specific language always.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, the next question is would you please share at what times you face difficulty in reaching your current position so that we'll not make those mistakes?
One thing is decision making. So for me, So it's always good to learn from others' mistake. That's one of the reason why we ask a lot of our engineers to interact with multiple people, because there's always a learning from their mistakes and you won't repeat them. For me, the biggest, see, if I tell you honestly, if when I tell to someone, they would say you took the longer route to come to Amazon, because I spent 2 years in Wipro, two years in masters, 1.5 year in my startup. So is it does it is it a mistake? For some other third perspective, it might be a mistake. Who are already in Amazon, they will say you should have tried maybe after your graduation itself. Why not come directly? You might have wasted 4 years. You would be a senior manager now. But the learnings I had, they don't have it.
Yes.
So if you can see that opportunity, and that's an opportunity that I took. I could have been in mathworks as well. So making that right decision, understanding what rule suits you better, will help you reduce that. And it's a personal learning. I can't exactly tell you what mistake you will make in your life, but I can tell you what mistakes I did.
Yes.
And that is that, and that's one of the reason why I'm asking you to talk to a lot of people, because even if I tell, you might not relate to it. So that's where all the things that I told, right, in a startup, so that those are learnings for you. You need not repeat them. But for me, at that point in time, there was no one to tell. And so one suggestion: always talk to your seniors or your people who you have. And LinkedIn works really well there. So be in connect with your LinkedIn folks, or your seniors up above the chain. Start talking there in the LinkedIn itself, and that's how you build your connections. And that's how you will know whenever there is a need. See, when you have something for like a job you want after, right now you have campus, but after college and after you go to the job after 2 years, you won't have college to ask for a job. You yourself have to search for it. And how will you do that? Because you worked in the same company and you obviously don't want to be in the same company. That's why you're going outside. Now who's going to give you that referral or connect to actually place you in a job interview? That's where LinkedIn comes in. So be in touch with your friends, colleagues, or seniors, and see that when you need opportunity, LinkedIn will definitely help. I'm telling you, LinkedIn will is the only place where you can find a lot of your seniors helping you in terms of giving you an interview, giving you that chance opportunity, which is really important. Getting that opportunity is also very difficult in these days.
So the next question is, how you got an opportunity for Amazon internship, and as an undergraduate student, how can we get internship opportunities at companies like Amazon?
Yes. So my internship happened for me from Bits Pilani. So we had a round of interviews there, and they took us as a four to five month internship. And there are opportunities for every college in Amazon. It's not like related to just a few colleges. So we open a job job role, and that will be shared with your company's college when that openings will be, and you can apply for it, and we'll have similar round of interviews, maybe less, maybe 1 or 2 rounds will be there for internship, or max 3. Sometimes we do come to campus just for hiring for internships. But to be frank with you, last year we did not have internships, because we still are giving offer letters for the people who interned with us 1.5 year back. So that is going to change, by the way. From next January onwards, we are again starting out giving internships. And internships is the best opportunity to convert into a full-time job. I think we see around 70%, which is very high. In an interview we see around 10 to 5% job conversions, but in internship we see the max 70 to 80% definitely, because it's an opportunity which we can judge you for 6 months rather than judging you for a period of 45 minutes, maybe 3 rounds of interview. So that's where the knowledge is, and also it gives you time as well. You can improve better, and that improvement is something which gives us confidence to take you in. So internships you can definitely get in touch with your college manage placement cell. We keep informing them whenever there is an opportunity.
Yes. So the next question is, can an ECE student pursue the same career as a CSE student in MNCs or a product-based companies?
Definitely. This answer is yes, definitely. There is no bar that CSE only CSE people. Or so I'll tell you my my team. My team has an MSc chemistry person who is an SD2 in Amazon. MSc chemistry. Imagine that. and there are few people who are from biotechnology, lovely professional university. There are bunch of different, and I think I have only, yeah, there is one person who is mathematics, MSc Maths. He just joined us recently. So don't think that whatever you, if you don't know code or you can't learn it any time. Even an MSc chemistry person came to Amazon giving that interviews at same as a CSE person. So there is no risk in, even if you're civil engineer, you can still code and come here. Don't keep that bars. Keep your, that's why I say keep yourself open. If you are open to learn, you have opportunity in this company. Not only in any MNC, I'm saying in Amazon we have it. Don't restrict yourself.
Yes, sir. Sir, next thing. Kindly share career opportunities for a data analyst in Amazon.
Yes. So we have a separate stream as well. Every team has their own, we call it data engineering team. So they have business analyst, data analyst, applied scientist, machine learning scientist. So these are the different roles. If you go to Amazon.jobs and search for it, you will find it. So there are a lot of career opportunities for them as well. But I would not, take it with a pinch of salt. I'm telling you, if there are 10 as software developer jobs, there is one team with data analyst. So don't think that you'll get the same amount of opportunity just like how others have. There are companies who are specifically into data analytics. The whole company is data analytics. So you might have to find such companies to gain that initial uh, career, and then switch to larger companies where, because I'm telling you, Amazon like companies for data engineering as an initial role will be very difficult, because you are expected to know everything and do it on your own. There won't be people to tell you. But imagine a data engineering company or a startup which has data engineering as a core business. Learn from it there, and then you will flourish in Amazon or any other company. So that's what I would say. So based on your interest, choose the company you want to get into, learn things there, because there you have opportunity. Here you have execution only,
Okay.
and then switch your roles. Yes.
Sir, can you please share your first interview experience with us?
Do you mean Amazon or Wipro? Which one you
Both,
want to
sir,
tell?
like in
Yes.
GVP and Amazon.
In GVP, it was always interesting. I had, I think, 3 rounds of interview. Sorry, I had both Wipro and TCS. Both I got offers. So Wipro, so they just gave me a bunch of questions on C++ and asked me to write a code, and I was able to code. But I think it was in something in pointers that I had to do. So it was frankly, I did not prepare that much, but it was okay. I would say in my whole interview for Wipro, coding was not my toughest interview. My toughest interview was the HR and other interviews, where they were asking people questions like, how do you manage a project? How did, for example, if you are given an opportunity to host a meeting or a gathering, for example, your college fest, and even now I remember this question. I don't remember the coding question, but I remember this question because it stick with me. The interviewer asked me, the chief guest is going away. He's going away because his time is done and he doesn't want to stay in your meeting. How will you hold that person and make him deliver the speech? He started walking away.
Okay.
At that, such questions, I not get the answer right away to tell them. I would actually please him or send some person to cool him down. Those are not the answers that we can prepare ourselves for. But that's why it is toughest, because it's out of the blue. For coding question, I know I was well prepared. I
Sir, do
can
you
code
remember the
anything.
answer you have given to that HR, sir?
And that's why I said, I'll send my interns
Okay.
and say, if you don't tell us, you are not losing it, but we are the ones who are losing the most. That sentence framing is important,
Okay.
because sometimes what you the perspective is different, right? I might ask my, maybe if there are any kids, I'll ask them to go and bring him maps. If as an engineering person, if you go and call them up, no guest is going to come. But imagine, can you deny a child there? Peop- so you want to find the opportunity in making the best of it, and he was okay with that. He understood that I was not in a position to give him a concrete answer, but some answer is better than him, and he was okay. He was also smiling just like you. he understood it's not the perfect answer, but it's okay. I went through it. That's how I'm saying. So coding, don't think that coding is will be the biggest surprise for you. Such HR interviews, managing people, and once you go higher in your job, coding won't be the biggest round for you. Design, for example, as an sd2 or as an sdm right now, I only one round of coding will be there for me. The rest rounds would be design. The other rounds would be how I'll manage people. What are your thoughts in managing the product, such. So the coding perspective decreases. Your skills has to improve. That's why one of the reason I'm saying, even if you're not a csc, you can survive, because as you grow up, your coding strength decreases. Your attention to other details increases, like your system design must be strong. Your system design, don't think that it is only software design. Yes, a chemical engineering person or a civil engineering person also has design in some of in whatever projects he does. The same skill he can apply here as well, because everything needs to be compartmentalized. You need to create building blocks. That is true everywhere. Don't think that it's only specific to software engineering. It is present everywhere. So once you get that methodology right, irrespective of your background, you'll be able to survive.
Sir, can you share us your first interview experience at Amazon or at Bits?
Yeah, I think I'll share it with MATLabs. So the MathWorks, the MATLab tool company. So I think the one of the again, the toughest was not the coding. Coding was way easy. They gave me, I think, 15 to 20 debugging questions, C++, continuous C++ question. The interviewer was putting the question paper in my head and asking me to write the answer. Purely debugging questions. It's very tricky questions. I would tell you. Some interviews might happen it. I won't say every interview will happen like this, but some interviews they'll be asking tricky questions on C++. I was a C++ developer in my Wipro, so I was comfortable with C++. So they gave me 15 to 20 questions which I had to tell in 15 minutes. Just by looking at it, I don't have anything else with my to code or anything. Just by looking at the screen, I had to tell the answer. So that is one round, which was very fast. Once I cleared it, the next rounds were all easy. Again, the toughest interview was the HR round. He was asking me, given what was the so I had multiple projects in my uh, and they tend to ask you from your life experience.
Okay.
What is the one thing which you would change, which you do differently in your project? And that question is something which is you have to take not lightly. These type of questions will actually tell you the state of mind at the state of thinking, and whether you're doing retrospective on your projects or not. So imagine I asking you a question: what would you do differently if you are in your fourth year or your third year, and you have to completely take down a go at your mini project or project? Now if you have not thought about it, what I would do differently during your project, that day you cannot answer it. And I have 3 to 4 projects like that. He was asking me, you were two people, and one of them had, due to medical emergency, went away, or he was sick. Now you have to complete both the projects. How will you manage it? If you're not in that position, putting your shoes in that position and telling that answer is very difficult, and the interviewer is judging you on that. So that's where I'm saying, don't think and I unfortunately my coding was not, in my life at least, my coding interviews was not the surprise for me. My other interviews, I was very well prepared for my coding. Imagine, I was assuming that coding will be my strong pull, and I was coding continuously for days, and I solved all the geeks for geeks questions and everything. Now that only saved me for one round, but
Yes.
for the other two rounds I was very unprepared,
Sir,
because I
what
was
was the
not
answer you have
anticipating.
given? What was the answer you have given for that many
See,
rounds?
yeah, it's about time management. I have to bring out the examples from my life. So I was a placement coordinator. I was a TA. I was managing my projects. I was managing my fourth years. So what I can do, the max is decrease the scope of the project. So I have to complete both the projects now.
Yes.
I have to decrease both the scope, what I can deliver in that time, and I have to time span it. I have to time box it. For example, I'll say today I'll do only this project, and whatever I can complete it, I'll complete it today. Next day I'll focus on the other one. I don't want to context switch between these two, and I will end up not meeting both the goals or not meeting both the projects. So initially I have 5 items to do. Now since that I'm at a reduced capacity, I may be only doing two. That only I'll communicate that I'll deliver only these two goals now, because I had an issue like this. Now I can't say that for the other goal I will deliver zero. I have to deliver something there as well, right? It's an assignment for me there as well. I have to get marks there as well. So what I can do, I'll say these are the two things that I can do. But whatever I do, I'll do with quality, because I'm judged for that. I'm not judged for how many I have missed. I will be judged for how much well I did that. Yes.
So the next question is, how did you negotiate your salary for the first time?
Yeah, this is something which is interesting for me again. I never had to negotiate because I was an intern and convert. So they gave me, but I'll definitely give you the tips for it, because I am a manager, so I handle that. For me, I never had to handle. So one thing which I have to say is, don't always say I need a 30% hike, or I need a 40% hike, or I need a number.
Okay.
Or for example, just as an example, I'm saying, don't say I need an 8 lakhs package, then only I'll join. If you're having three or four, tell what things you bring to the table, why you need that. If Because it's an absurd amount to say that I need 50% hike, I need 80% hike. Because I interviewed you, I don't know whether you are fully capable it or not, what skills you bring in. Why will I give you 80% just because someone else is giving, some other company is paying you? I need to get that confidence, right? So one thing which you need to bring, say that is, tell them why you need that 30% hike. You have to say in terms of either your experience or the way you progressed, and what you they have to get an impression that just because you say 40% here, you take the offer and go to some other company and asking for 40% again. You need to tell them that, give that confidence that I'm asking this 50% because I know that for the next 1 year I won't be eligible for your performance cycle, and I intend to stay here in this company for the next 3 to 4 years. So I want to have a strong relationship with the company, and I definitely know next year I won't be eligible. And even after that, I need some time to understand the company and everything. So it takes time for you to rate me as a top tier employee. So it takes time for me to reach there, and I don't want to have this mental pressure of having this financial thing behind me. So initially I'm asking that amount so that I can have truly lengthy relationship with you. Whether you stay in the company for 2 years or 3 years is immaterial. But imagine if I say this, will the company agree to that or not? There should be a reason, right? Why the company has to pay you 30% or 50%? Imagine you're moving it after 1 year, and the company will know that after 1 year you will go from this company as well.
Yes.
Then why would I give you that? So you need to build that story of why you need it, or you have to say that my years of experience is very high. I stayed in this company for a very long time, and my that's one of the reason I got I did not have my skills rotation here, so I wanted to develop a different set of skills, and that's why I'm moving. Don't say that salary is the primary reason for your motivation to move to another company.
Yes.
Salary should be secondary. I understand that financial impact will be there, but don't that should not be the drive for you. If that is the drive for you, I as a manager knows that you will be in my company only for 1 year, and after that you will go. I would not like to hire you that way.
Sir, you have mentioned that your package is the very interesting thing in Amazon. Sir, can we get
Yes.
a peek into your package? Like how much packages you have offered, you are
So
offered by Amazon?
see, exactly I cannot tell you that, but every cycle I had single digit increase only. But when I was promoted to different roles, I had 40 to 50% hikes.
No.
So that's why I'm saying, in companies, even if you stay somewhere, if I go to another company also, I'll get the same. There is no company who will give me 200% raise. 40% or 50% only will give me, and I got that in Amazon. And that's one of the reason why I was not destined to go, because salary was not my motivation now.
Yes.
Anywhere I go, I'll get the same. So that's fair.
Sir, how was your experience in your campus interviews?
Yeah, I already told you, right? One round was 15 debugging questions, and Amazon was through internship. So internship, I think they had couple of rounds of interview for us as well then, and it was mostly one similar to you how companies do for you, one online coding test, and 2 rounds of interview, and the final managerial round. But all were standard questions. So what you find in Geeks for Geeks only, because see, if it is a interview drive, the expectation of you getting a very different question is very low, because as an interview on the drive, I have to interview 6 to 7 rounds, 7 people in one single day. I don't have the time to think about different out of the box questions for you. Mostly people will get you with a tweak in Geeks for Geeks or somewhere and ask you those questions only. So I think we are well prepared. So preparation is important. Once you are prepared for the question, even if they tweak you some little bit here and there, you will be able to answer. So that's why go versatile with multiple questions on how to approach the problem. Sometimes even if you don't code during these days, just a pseudo code also will work. You don't need to write every step of it, because as in a 45-minute interview, I don't expect you to write complete code and also answer all my questions. I only will expect you to write a significant piece of code which is very important, which is the core logic. I will expect you to write, and even if you make mistakes in that, we are okay with that. But you need to tell me all the different approaches, pros and cons, and then at the end you have to start writing coding. Instead of that, if you start writing at the beginning itself, it's a difficult thing for me to judge, because I don't have any other data point to judge you. The only thing I have is a piece of paper where you wrote code, and most likely the standards at companies, your code levels would be not at par. So obviously it will be a negative demotivator for me. So that's why spend your interview with at least 15 to 10 to 15 minutes talking first, asking questions, understanding the approach, telling your approach to them, and then start writing code. Because definitely you can't meet their standards. And for example, I am in this role for 7 years now, and I know how the code at Amazon looks. But when I look at your code, it will be like, why there'll be a lot of mistakes, because I review code, do code reviews here. Suddenly I see your code, you won't be at that standpoint. So it's an automatic negative impression for me. So that's why start talking to the interviewer 15 to 20 minutes. If it is a 45-minute interview and they're expected to ask you one question, if they're expected to ask you two questions, then it will be 20-20 minute questions. So first 5 minutes spent for discussing the question, asking any questions, clarifying questions on them, and then start writing code.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, what can you suggest to us on how to ace an interview for any product? This you have answered, sir.
Yeah. Any other questions on this, people who attended?
Uh, I request if there are any questions from the students, you can ask Anantha Bhagyanath, sir, please. Students, if you have any questions, you can ask Anantha Bhagyanath, sir.
Yeah, firstly, I think one more time I want to reiterate. Thanks for calling me. It was a very nice, fruitful interaction. I think I never had an opportunity to interact in this way. Mostly had opportunity in reviewing your workshops and other PPTs. But this was very good. Thanks to Indumati man for suggesting me. Thanks to the management actually to creating such a kind where I don't think so. We had this when we were there in the college, where we learned from our seniors, and the maximum interaction we had with our immediate senior, not like 6 years or 7 years now. I think you guys, now I'm speaking with you after 12 years, right? We did not have that opportunity back then, and the max was 1 year. So whatever mistakes they had, we also used to do going forward. But for you, I think it's a very good forum. So please continue that. Thanks to the management and the people who are organizing this. I think I'm telling you, once you start listening, I'm a CSE guy and have come in this role. But I think maybe down the line you will find people who did their MBAs from IIMs and then becoming product managers. I have my friends like that. Their perspective will be a completely different thing. So please learn from them, and definitely each of them will have their own career path, and it will help you decide your career path. Because most of the when we were in our college, the maximum we had was either do MBA or do masters or go to TCS or Wipro. That is how our mental model was. But there are a lot of other opportunities as well. So you'll get to know only when you meet the people in that direction, because otherwise everyone will say every path is good, or they'll say this is not good, only this is good. But for me, my whatever career choice I took is good, and I can tell you in that, if you need to become an product manager or you want to pursue MBA, there'll be definitely be people in the alumni who can help you with that, and who have excelled in that and succeeded as well. So that is really important. Otherwise it won't give you confidence that I can succeed.
Yes.
Imagine taking a role where there is no other criteria for it. And one more thing, talk to people. I was an introvert in college. I never used to talk to people. Even as an SG2 in Amazon, I was an introvert. But after becoming a manager, I'm talking to right now like this. Otherwise, even if you ask me 10 questions, I would reply one word answers to you. So please, communication is also a really important thing. So please take care of that as well. You
Sure,
should have one meeting for one of your alumni who is very good at communications.
yes, sir. We'll surely plan for it, sir.
Yes.
I request Indumati ma'am to speak a few words.
Yes. Good, Bhagyanath. Thank you so much, Bhagyanath, for
Thank you, ma'am.
accepting to motivate and give the suggestions to our GVP students. And he is very passionate about that hardware projects. And even with the busy work, he's working in that hardware project right now also.
Mm.
So I'm proud to be as a your teacher. He's an excellent student and a kind person. Even he's also shares his knowledge with others by providing materials or teaching AWS services for us. So few years back, I remember that we were having the trouble with the consultancy project that uses the cloud services. But Bhagyanath helped me out. Thank you, Bhagyanath. And I wish him all the best for the bright and successful future. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again,
Thank you so
ma'am.
much.
I think the interaction I had with the college is with Indumati, so thanks once again. I think I took a lot of time. Sorry for
No
extending
problem.
the meeting,
It's our
but yeah,
pleasure, sir. It's our pleasure.
yeah.
Sir, myself, I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce myself, sir. Myself, Srivatsava, chairperson of IEEE Student Branch. And now I request Dujesh, Secretary IEEE Student Branch, to for the vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Hello everyone, myself Jesh, Secretary of IEEE SB GVPCE. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and sharing your valuable information, your incredible journey and valuable insights with us today. Your story is an example of power of adaptability and continuous learning. We're grateful to for your time and wish you continued success in all your future endeavors.
Okay.
And next, we'd like to express our keen interest in continuing our journey with you, sir.
Sure,
Like
sure.
we're
Please,
planning
please.
an event in which the students will get introduced to the various AWS services and all those. We believe your expertise in these services would be beneficial to our students, and we would be honored to have you as a guest and a speaker to guide us about the AWS services.
Sure,
Thank you once
definitely.
again for your inspiring journey.
Thank you so much. Feel free to contact me either any channel, and I'll be always willing to help in whatever means I can.
Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Once again, thank you so much, sir. Now,
Thank you.
I would like to request any faculty members to speak a few words, and then we can end the session. So, sir, we can end
Okay.
this session, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, sir.
Thanks
Thank you
everyone.
once again for honoring us. It's our
Yeah.
pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks everyone. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Good one. So first one బాగా చేస్తున్నారు.
Thank you, ma'am.
All the best for your future also. So connect
Thank
with
you.
చేయండి మిగతా కూడా ప్లాన్ చేసుకోండి ఫాస్ట్ గా.
Already next
So
week plan చేశారు.
okay,
24th
very
or
good.
25th. నెక్స్ట్ ప్లాన్ ఉంది. సో ఇన్ ద మీన్ వైల్ మిగతా కూడా షెడ్యూల్ చేస్తాం. నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ కూడా ఒకసారి వీల్ షెడ్యూల్ ఇట్ అకార్డింగ్లీ.
Good. Prepare a document for this also, Amma Srivatsa. So just like a not with that ఏమంటారు recording కూడా కాకుండా just like a document. So what are the questions we asked to them and what are the answers they given? Because we could not get that all the videos right. So
Yes.
just like a document we can get fast. At the same time ఒక కొత్త పర్సన్ వచ్చినారు అంటే రిపీట్ అవ్వకుండా అదర్వైజ్ సేమ్ క్వశ్చన్ కి ఎట్లాంటి ఆన్సర్స్ రావచ్చు మనకి.
ఎస్ మ్యామ్.
సో ఈ టైప్ ఆఫ్ క్వశ్చన్ కి ఎలాంటి ఆన్సర్స్ ఇవ్వగలుగుతాము అనేది కూడా వీ కెన్ ప్రొవైడ్ ద మెటీరియల్స్ టు ఆల్.
Yes, ma'am. We'll surely plan it. I'll make
Okay,
sure
ma'am.
that it will be documented.
Good one. Okay, thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. We can end the session. You can all leave the meeting. Thank you so much. Vijesh. What's
Chippu,
up?
bro.